Well, good morning, everybody. Max of Max's Models here, and I'm about to get back to work on the Felixstowe. I'm going to have to paint those lines today, although the stretch string worked pretty well. That white color is not going to get it. Also realized I said I was done with the tail. Ha, 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 silly Max. I forgot the rudders, so still have to string those to rig those up. And this morning I was wondering about something, kind of a thought of the day sort of thing. I was watching some of my videos on the Battle of Midway, and one of the things I realized was there are no kits of the Narwhal class submarine USS Narwhal. Now, the Narwhal was a really big submarine, bigger than most, probably bigger than just about any of them at the early part of the war. The Navy had the idea to make basically a submersible destroyer, and it had a pair of 6-inch guns on it, which I believe are still the largest actual cannons ever mounted on a submarine. And the thing was huge, much bigger than the Gato class. The Narwhal is an important class because although outdated and ponderous and only had 4 forward-firing torpedo tubes, they turned out, because of the large size of the vessel and the amount of void space inside, to be extremely handy in dropping off covertly marine raiders. I think some people also called them the Macon Island raiders, but Macon Island was where they were made famous for dropping off a bunch of Marines covertly. Only 2 ships of that class were made, or 2 boats of that class were made. That was the Narwhal and the Nautilus, and of course, obviously, not the nuclear Nautilus. But the Nautilus was famous because it's the one that shot a torpedo at the Japanese fleet in the Battle of Midway, which caused a chain of events that helped result in the destruction of the Japanese aircraft carriers. It shot that torpedo at the battleship, so the Japanese sent a destroyer to go hunt it down. It barely managed to survive the attack, which went on for about an hour. The Arashi, that was the Japanese destroyer, the Arashi. And when the Arashi attacked it after about an hour, they were convinced, well, either we sank it or the fleet's far enough away it's no threat. Then the Arashi went full throttle to catch up the fleet. And of course, as the Arashi was cutting this beautiful white bow wake through the ocean, it was spotted by Wade McCluskey's dive bombers, who basically followed it, extrapolated its course, found the Kido Butai, and of course, that's when the fateful 5 minutes happened. The Wade McCluskey's group from Enterprise and the other air group from Yorktown all converged from 2 different directions in the fleet, and history was made. When I was making my documentary, the one thing I could not find was a model of a Narwhal class boat. Of course, again, only 2 of them were made. That got me curious, and it turns out that only that I can find 2 companies have made models of it. There's the old Strombecker kit, which was an old pre-war wood kit that was made when the submarine was kind of the shiny new thing in the Navy. And then for about $80, Iron Shipwrights made a 1:350 scale one. And it has photo etch and is resin. And I've seen some buildups of it. They really look nice when they're done. But I'm kind of surprised that for 2 submarines, they were pretty significant in the war in the Pacific, and they've kind of been forgotten to model history. So I went there to go here. It's got me wondering, what kits do you guys think should have been made that never were? Something significant that somehow just eluded the modeling community. And for me, I'm going to go with the Narwhal class boats, the USS Narwhal and the USS Nautilus. And both of them played pretty significant roles in the war. And even though being very early designs, they weren't retired until the end of the war. And their size, yeah, they were ponderous and big and slow, but they wound up being quite useful during the war, more so than anybody probably suspected they would be. So there's that. I thought that was kind of a neat thing. Well, I got to back to the rigging mines and go get to work on the Felixstowe. You guys have a wonderful morning and take care. Model on.